The 12th Petersburg Climate Change Conference, which started on Monday in Berlin, highlighting the importance of staying focused on climate issues. Speaking to the media before the conference, the German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock called for a global resolve to tackle climate change problems.
In her words, the climate crisis does not stop at any border, and that's why the answers must not stop at any border either. We must intensify our joint efforts. Baerbock was joined by the Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry, who also echoed her words, saying it is incumbent upon us in these uncertain times to act swiftly to ensure that climate action remains at the top of the international agenda and that the current state of affairs is not taken as a pretext to backtrack or renege on previous commitments.
His comments come after global issues, including the conflict in Ukraine and recovery from COVID-19, has drawn attention away from climate issues. Egypt is set to host the United Nations Climate Conference, COP27, in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, in 2022 after it was rescheduled due to the coronavirus pandemic. Yes, we've talked about this here on the show several times, how we need to prioritize conversations about climate change. We're seeing the effects of climate change within the continent and outside the continent, and it's manifesting in several things, right? We're seeing global warming becoming, global warming is at an all-time high. We're seeing these things, and you did mention something about how you read somewhere, I don't know if it was a quote or you read somewhere where they said that the earth would always remain, and at the end of the day, the earth would look
Mother
after
Earth
itself.
would always.
Yes, we're not, it's the little things. One time I did some work with an NGO that was focused on looking for how, basically pushing the conversations about climate change, and part of what we're looking at was ending single-use plastic. Little things here, recycling, ending single-use plastic. Plastic is horrible for the planet. It takes a single PET bottle, that small PET bottle, 500 years for it to actually break down. And when it breaks down into microplastics that is being absorbed by the soil. And when it's absorbed by the soil, it's either going down into your water, and if you throw it into the sea, it breaks down into microplastics that your fish will consume, this fish that we will eat as well, or it's just basically destroying sea wildlife. So if it's in the little things. There's little efforts that we can all do, but globally, it's a conversation that must be had.
Yeah. So, another thing is, I'm not even sure, if it's too late, or I mean, they always say, how we start doing things now, and, there's also people who will jump in and argue that, Africa contributes the least, to global warming and some of all of that. But I don't even know if we all decide tomorrow morning and, we should all stop using, plastics, we should start using disposable or recyclable, items and all of that. Throw all the cars in the away and stop polluting the
because of the greenhouse gases.
If we decide that we're going to do all of that from tomorrow morning, is it already too late?
It might not be too late. It will just take a while for the earth to rebalance itself. But there have been conversations that were already getting late. Maybe not too late, but already late. But we need to start conversations now.
I don't think we can actually stop. I think we can instead slow down global warming and slow down the effects of climate change.
I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned that we're not the biggest polluters, because when we look at it, we look at those who are flying private jets. We're not ready for that conversation.
The industries across the world.